Okay, it should be recording now.
What's your major? Oh, that's right.
Decided to shut itself off. Okay, again, this is for the teacher or whatnot, beginning of the speech. I'm Ray Shackler, Hutchinson Community College. Informative speech. It will be about Tux. In this day and age, all major companies need an image. They need something that is easily recognizable to them. Microsoft has chosen a flag. Apple has chosen an apple. And the third major operating system, Linux, has chosen a penguin. Why is such an awkward decision? Well, I will go through that in today's speech. I, Ray Shackler, will talk about Tux, the Linux penguin. First, I will start with his background, why they chose a penguin. Next, I will talk about his name, and I will finish off by talking about what all he is used in. But now let's return to why they chose a penguin. They chose a penguin because, well, they needed an image. And in 1996, when they were coming out with Linux 2.0, that seemed like a good time. They debated over many different kinds of animals or whether to have a completely abstract image. Finally, they decided, based off of the idea of Linus Torvalds, to use a penguin. But not just any kind of penguin. They had a few concept sketches, and they were all different. Do you have an aggressive penguin or a cute penguin? Linus thought that they should have a penguin that was cute, cuddly, and contented. And he firmly expressed the contented part in an email out to the Linux listserv. He said that the only two ways a penguin would be contented is if it was either A, just had gotten laid, or B, full of herring. They decided to go with the full of herring approach. A penguin who was a little bit fatter, who had just finished gouging himself on a bunch of herring and had given off a mighty burp, and then sat down happy, ready for another burp. So with this idea in mind, they drew a stylized penguin. It was very stylized and not real to life because it could be, and it was just a logo. However, it's not actually a logo. Back in 1996, when they were determining what their logo should be, they held a number of votes online. And Tux, the penguin, did not actually win. They went with Linux 2.0 just as text. However, that has led the community to deem Tux as the mascot of Linux rather than the official logo. Some people did not like Tux as the logo or mascot because they were worried that it would not provide an image that was significantly advanced or aggressive enough because he was such a happy penguin. So they decided, in response to this, Linus Torvalds sent out another email, and he said, basically, have you ever seen a penguin charging at you at 100 miles an hour angry? That quickly silenced his opponents. But now, let's move on to the name, Tux. Most people would assume that Tux is short for tuxedo because penguins look like they're wearing little tuxedos. However, this is not actually the case. Again, on their listserv, their emailing list, they decided it needs a name. So one person suggested trivially Homer. However, someone else decided a much better name would be Tux as a shortened form of Torvalds Unix, because Linux is a derivative of Unix and Torvalds was the creator. So the name Tux stuck. But now where has Tux gone on to? What actually can you find him in? What media? Well, not only is he the mascot of most major Linux distributions and appears on CD covers or with associated documentation or at boot time, he has also starred in numerous video games. A clone of Super Mario Bros. Entitled Super Tux features Tux as the protagonist, the little guy running around jumping and smashing blocks and jumping on creatures. In another game called Pingus, he is a lemming. It's an open source Lemmings clone, and you see little penguins marching along, sometimes falling off cliffs to their doom. In another game, he is a downhill skier, or not skier necessarily, he slides on his belly in a downhill racer. And so he has seen much popularity in video games and in other media such as wallpapers. There's a popular wallpaper that is distributed by Sun Microsystems with their Linux distribution of the penguin Tux standing on a grassy field with a blue sky with a fly swatter and the MSN butterfly, because they're parodying off of the popular basic desktop in Windows XP of the grassy field with blue sky. So Tux has seen very many differing abilities and great opportunity in the software environment. He's a vibrant, alive image that allows much adaptation into different environments to be used for many different purposes. So Linux, having adopted such a vibrant, alive penguin, has seen great success and ability in perpetuating their brand and finding their niche in the market.